Today we'll be looking at some of the plants flowering in spring at the Coot-tha Botanic Gardens. Roses are in flower at the moment, and this large multicoloured red, cream and white double-flowered variety is no exception. It is named after the French painter Maurice Utrillo. This variety is bushy and disease-resistant and produces flowers in clusters. This is Viola odorata, or sweet violet, a lovely forest ground cover tolerant of shade and native to Europe and Asia. The species name odorata refers to the scent of the flowers. The scent contains a compound called ironone, which temporarily disables the scent receptors of the nose, causing the scent to fade away until the receptors have recovered. You'd be forgiven for thinking this was alyssum, but it's actually Lobularia, a closely related genus formerly included in the genus Alyssum. It is a great cottage flower and can be used to trail over edges. Its profuse white flowers provide nectar for beneficial insects, especially hoverflies. This is a vigorous but compact variety of lavender called Avon View, growing to about 80 cm high by about 60 cm across. Lavenders prefer a sunny, well-drained position, and to maintain their shape, just trim after flowering. These flowers and dark glossy leaves belong to the hawthorn, Raphiolepis umbellata. Note the varying red and white stamen filaments. It can grow into a small tree or be kept pruned to hedge or shrub size. A fond favourite of many is Viola tricolour, commonly known as heartsease, wild pansy or Johnny jump-ups. They are a common European wildflower that forms a creeping ground cover and grows best in partial shade. The nodding cheery faces on these flowers always brightens up my day, and I prefer these to many of the more cultivated pansies. This plant also has a long association with herbalism and has many medicinal uses. If you're after a showy flower for a shady spot under a tree, you could do worse than to put in a clivia or kaffir lily. Its strap-like glossy dark green leaves contrast well with the large heads of bright orange flowers. The flowers have a faint but sweet perfume. This species, Miniata, only reaches a height of about 45 cm. The plant contains the toxin lycorine and is poisonous. This curious little herb is Spilanthes acmella, or toothache plant. While not grown for its showy flowers, it was out in full bloom today. Its leaf and flower heads contain a compound called spilanthol, which can be used to numb toothache. It is perennial in our climate, but it may be killed by frost in colder climates. It prefers partial shade and moist soils. While you may be more familiar with the red caliandra, there is also a white variety called alba. Like its cousin, it's as tough as old boots, can be pruned into an informal hedge, provides nectar for birds, and helps to fix atmospheric nitrogen and replenish the nitrogen in the soil. This sea of yellow before you is actually not the flowers, but the colourful bracts of Pachystachys lutea, commonly known as lollipop or golden shrimp plant. It is soft-stemmed and grows to a height of about 1 metre tall. The actual flowers are white, short-lived, and emerge from between the overlapping yellow bracts during the warmer months of the year. It prefers growing in a slightly acidic, well-drained, rich soil, and can grow in sun or semi-shade. These bearded purple pea-like flowers belong to a polygala hybrid commonly given the name sweet pea shrub or milkwort. It requires good drainage, but is drought-hardy and will tolerate poor soils. Unlike Polygala myrtifolia, this plant doesn't appear to be invasive. It reaches a maximum height of about 1.5 metres with a spread of 1 metre and is a good plant for border plantings. It is frost tolerant and prefers a position in full sun or partial shade. Although in the same order as legumes, the fabaceae, these plants do not fix nitrogen. Hybrid abutilons, known commonly as Chinese lanterns, produce masses of hanging pendulous hibiscus-like flowers and large maple-like leaves. They flower in full sun or light shade and prefer some shade if grown in hot, dry climates. They like a well-drained soil and are quite thirsty, so it's a good idea to mulch them and water is needed. Avoid excessive fertiliser or they will put on lots of new growth and not flower. Lightly pruned to shape at the end of winter or at the beginning of spring in areas that receive frosts. They come in various colours such as these orange and red varieties. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more spring flowers in part 2.